naval officer saying, and basically quite arrogant and sneering, saying that you know, we've been very successful in employing what they call a cabbage strategy,
Yeah.
as well as salami slice strategy.
Okay, which is
in taking over
yeah,
over the.
many bits and pieces.
They're doing it in
yeah,
bits and pieces,
yes,
and they're using civilian vessels, not
I
military
see.
vessels.
I see.
You know, so and that in a way prevents the Philippines from invoking the MVP.
Okay. Okay. Now, Roilo, you wanted to say
Yeah, in
something.
the case of Malaysia, Malaysia has been hailed as a country that was doing a balancing act. And
Yes,
they're-
that's what I.
they're
yeah.
relatively successful until one day, two Chinese frigates went very close to James Shoal,
Okay.
which is claimed by Malaysia. And the reports were that they were there, they entered the space of James Shoal, and they even had a pledging session where the Chinese PLA Navy officers and men pledged that they're going to fight for their claims in the South China Sea because James Shoal is well within the 9 dash line.
Okay. So what did
That's
Malaysia
the-
do after?
Well, Malaysia, still very diplomatic, denied that China entered the
Yeah.
area. So there was this,
I
this
see.
denial.
Yeah.
But then recently, again, this James Shoal incident happened about 2 months ago.
Okay.
But very recently, just to make things very complicated, the Indonesians have started reacting because when they examined very closely the very still unclear 9 dash line, they saw that it is already intruding into the Natuna Sea.
Yeah, okay.
And Indonesia has already made a statement that they're going to strengthen the Navy in anticipation of a possible problem with the Chinese, because they're the southernmost part of the South China Sea claim of China. Of
Okay.
China. So they're
No,
preparing.
Roilo,
So
is this
is
the
going
only-
to be
Yeah.
in our favor
Okay.
because now there are more countries that are taking our side
Yeah.
in conflict with China's claim.
Okay.
India is also in the picture because India would like to do oil exploration off the coast of Vietnam
Yeah.
because India also needs oil.
But yeah, now clearly, President Aquino, considering we are a small country, is the only ASEAN president who's been very vocal. I mean, about China's intrusion.
Vietnam also.
Okay, and the disappointment, I think, in the last ASEAN meeting, if I remember, was it in Cambodia?
Yes.
It was not even discussed.
They will not normally discuss it.
They won't.
They won't. China won't discuss.
From the way I understand it,
Okay.
something that's set on an impromptu basis
Okay.
will not be pursued.
All right.
Normally, the way they do it is they process these things behind the scenes way ahead of time.
Okay.
And then they agree as to what they're supposed to say
Yeah.
during the formal meetings. If none of that happened and somebody spoke out of turn, most likely it's not going to be pursued.
The
Now,
problem
clear-
with China is this. They always say, let's talk bilateral. Let's
Yes.
not talk multilateral. ASEAN is multilateral. The problem is this. I was in the
What
visa
they really want to
delegation.
say, what they really want to say is don't talk to the
Yeah,
U.S. That's
they
what
want
they
to say,
really want to
they
say.
say bilateral.
Yeah.
But the problem is this, in 2002, I was part of the Philippine delegation, the state
Yeah,
visit
okay.
of PGMA, Jiang Zemin.
Yeah.
So that was bilateral. We wanted
Yes,
to
yes.
talk about the South
Yeah.
China Sea, this practice, this free, but they said, oh, it's not yet time for that.
Okay, all right. Now, very quickly, did GMA, former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, make it worse for the Philippines by allowing China during her term?
Well, that is the conventional thinking.
Yeah,
That she gave away too much.
too much.
To China, and which allowed China to exploit opportunities here in the Philippines, much to the I suppose disadvantage of our national security.
Okay,
That's a conventional thinking.
yeah. That's a conventional thinking, yes or no?
The biggest problem was the signing of the JMSU, Joint
Ah,
Marine
yeah,
Seismic
I remember
Undertaking.
this.
I stood
Yeah,
up in Congress as a congressman, I briefed media, I went to town all over
Yeah.
to show them that it was a huge disadvantage in the Philippines. It's supposed to be
But is that
tripartite,
being
yeah.
practiced now?
No, that's
Okay,
already
no.
terminated. But the problem although it was terminated, I think